We are going to objectively attack. It cannot be just attacking for clickbait, attacking for as sound bites, you know, attacking just for the sake of it, like we're used to, because it has produced nothing positive.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ousainou Allen, who is the interim party leader of the National Alliance for Accelerated Advancement, called NAFA. Thank you, Mr. Allen, for giving us this opportunity to talk to you on our platform called Issues That Matter.
Thank you, Mr. Walden.
Mr. Allen, this National Alliance for Accelerated Advancement, called NAFA, when was it established?
Bismillah. Thank you, Mr. Balde, for hosting me on this very important platform. I would like to also send greetings to your followership and the Gambians in general. NAFA was a concept and which was initiated by young Gambians, but also under the guidance of seasoned experts. And it was initiated in the lead up to the 2016 elections. We realized that when governments are changing, there's lots of moving blocks going on. And Gambia needed to position itself in a way where we can make the most of this change, because the change, for anybody who would observe, realize that the change was imminent. It was only a matter of time. And we felt that unless we position ourselves in a way that we can end up becoming winners as a result of this change, it will just be a continuation of the status quo, which as a result, the Gambians would be at a loss, will be at the receiving end of a very bad bargain. Whenever there's change in government, interest groups will rush in, trying to position themselves. And at the end of the day, it's not mostly in the interest of the average citizen. It's mostly in the interest of lobbyists, lobby groups, and they prey on the interests of the citizens in cahoots with the political class. We didn't want that for Gambia. Gambia is a small but beautiful country. We want the Gambia to position itself in a way that will end up becoming the winners. Unfortunately, that dream was not realized, and it was now the third missed opportunity for Gambia. When we got our independence, we should have sat and discussed how we would like our Gambia to be. Since almost 150 years of colonial rule was eventually ended, the Gambia could have designed its own development in its image and detach ourselves from the colonial mindset, the colonial architecture, and we can set ourselves up on an acceleration that might not have been precedented before.
So in a nutshell, you were saying that what was spent, or what was allegedly spent on the independence celebration, was wasteful?
We don't believe in the celebration. We believe that independence is a very important milestone in our history and should be commemorated. But you celebrate success. You don't celebrate before success comes. It is said that the independence celebration is going to cost Gambians 100 million, some are saying 150 million. That's what we've heard. we've made an estimation that for a 40,000 liter overhead tank, water tank, for it to be installed with the solar that will power it, and for the distribution to tap points in villages, let's say like Palol, Caswolof, and others like that. Certain places where before they used to fetch water using horses and donkeys. Now they're having water right at their doorstep. It's going to cost you 1,000 people a day can benefit from that overhead tank. It's going to cost them $6 million. So $6 million from, let's say, even if the independence celebration costed the Gambians 60 million, you can put that overhead water tank in 10 different locations, and it's going to serve 10,000 people fresh water. We have not yet been successful as a country yet. Because if you are comparing yourself with your peers in the same classroom, you are in the same classroom, yes. But if your peers are getting 80, 90, 100%, and you're getting 20, 30, 40, there's nothing to celebrate. You need to work hard so that you can be closer to your peers in terms of scoring. Then you have something to celebrate. We've not gotten to the point where we can celebrate because we have fundamental issues that need addressing. And the key factors that one can identify and call yourself a sovereign, independent people, we still haven't gotten them yet. Because if you are comparing yourself with your peers in the same classroom, you are in the same classroom, yes. But if your peers are getting 80, 90, 100%, and you're getting 20, 30, 40, there's nothing to celebrate. You need to work hard so that you can be closer to your peers in terms of scoring. Then you have something to celebrate. We've not gotten to the point where we can celebrate because we have fundamental issues that need addressing. And the key factors that one can identify and call yourself a sovereign, independent people, we still haven't gotten them yet. That is our cultural sovereignty. We don't have food sovereignty. We don't have energy sovereignty. We don't have technological sovereignty. These four issues, we cannot be independent without these four issues.
So you were trying to give a breakdown of where NAFA would have spent this money. I mean, can you elaborate more on that?
Yes. What we are trying to say is there are pressing needs. And, you know, Gambians, the life of the Gambian is valuable. And the life of the Gambian should be respected. Gambians should live in dignity. You cannot have a woman. We have so many widows in the Gambia. We have so many young, vulnerable children in the Gambia. You cannot have a woman leave the house, walk for so long just to fetch a bucket of water. That bucket of water, how much can someone use it? In let's say Canifing or wherever you live, that bucket of water can just flush your toilet after you use it. So that bucket of water will be used to cook, to clean, to take bath or shower or whatever. Some people, they're not asking for fiber internet. All they're asking for are these basics. So if you hear that within 4 years, 2000 to 2003, 2.1 billion was spent on vehicles, lubricants, fuel, and only 3.7 million was spent on ambulances, firefighting equipment, and and rescue vehicles. 2.1 billion, 3 million within the same time duration. It shows you where our priorities lie. We need to value the life of the Gambian. We need to give value to the Gambian. No, let's not even stop there. We need to give value to those living in Gambia because they're all contributing towards the economy of the Gambia or towards the social cohesion of what we call Gambia. So priorities are being misplaced. We are focusing more on self-enrichment as opposed to what would benefit the general masses. That's our message. We want the Gambians to realize that we deserve more and we can get more provided we identify who can give us that more that we deserve and who is taking us for a ride. We can go into the education sector. We can go into how we are falling behind when it comes to energy. We're spending too much unnecessarily. Transmission and distribution lines do not need to be everywhere in the country. Certain villages, all you need is to install solar grids so it can supply them. You don't need to take transmission lines all the way there. Just focus it on those areas with high energy usage so that we can prioritize other issues. We need healthcare facilities within walking distance or very close proximity to every Gambian. Alhamdulillah, we have many healthcare personnel. They can be deployed in various locations across the country. These healthcare facilities should not be expensive. It can even be rented. You can rent a room and a parlor. The room can be a two-bed admitting. You can admit 2 people there. The parlor can be where you do your consultations, just so that people will have access to these very important services. And these are human rights that every Gambian deserves, whether it's the child that gets sick, whether it's the pregnant woman that needs to come and check on vitals of their baby or even on themselves.
One other issue, sorry for interjecting, one other issue you haven't mentioned is about the issue of security sector reforms and also the transitional agenda and the unresolved issue of Yaya Jammeh.
Yes, we've already started talking about the security issues. And I will start with the security first before going to the issue of Yaya Jammeh. I just mentioned that 2.1 billion was spent on vehicles. How much of that was spent on vehicles for police patrol? If you do the investigation, you'll realize that it was not much because they're still complaining. Even if they're given vehicles, they're struggling to get the necessary fuel to give them that for them to effectively carry out their job. But you need to also equip them with arms necessary and the necessary training, accompanying training, so that they can protect themselves, they can protect the citizenry. But we need to also go further. We need to invest in technology. We need CCTVs mounted at secure locations. But we need also proactive policing, where the police will engage the communities so that they can easily identify these perpetrators. Putting that to the side, we are a sovereignist movement. We believe that Gambians should be able to solve our own problems. We acknowledge that there were many happenings and many of them were wrong during the tenure of Yaya Jammeh. But the issue of Yaya Jammeh needs to be treated with caution. You need to be very smart to not be dictated into a civil war. It's the same USA within the same week that supports the hybrid court to try Yahya Jammeh. The same USA threatened to sanction any country that seeks to arrest a war criminal like Netanyahu. Are we going to accept support from someone who supports a genocide, yet wants you to be at each other's throats? No, we need to be smarter than that. We need to determine what to do with this issue of Yahya Jammeh, and we need to determine it on our own. I cannot come with the solutions on this interview. We have experts in the country, we have elders in the country, we have smart people there that can determine what to do with that case. What we cannot do, and it has been going on, is those that have been deemed victims, how can you keep allowing them to wallow in poverty? How can you allow their wounds to keep eating up? And some of them have started dying. Until when? Certain people, all they need is urgent medical care. Certain people, all they need is sponsorship for their kids to finish their studies. Some of them, what they need is accommodation. Some of them, what they need is to turn their financial situation to the better. Let them live dignified lives if their dignity was ripped from them. Do not allow processes, and this has been a mainstay in our operation as a country. You come up with a process, and you come up with an initiative and spend 90 to 95% on the process. There's a possibility that some of those people who were overseeing these commissions have built a house or two from earnings from those commissions. But the end user, the person on whose behalf this commission was built, hasn't received a penny, and they're going ping-ponging between National Assembly and the executive about, yeah, we'll allocate this much, we'll allocate that much, giving them endless hope that's not actualized. We need to treat the Gambians with dignity. We need to respect the Gambians. You say this person is a victim, give them their due. Do not wait, because if you who's on the process overseeing that commission fail to receive your monthly salary, you would, for the second month, you would resign. But you are more than comfortable to keep telling that victim, wait, we are coming, wait, we are coming, wait, we are coming, till eternity.